All right, guys, what's going on? We're excited about this today. This is one of your favorite type of videos, one of our favorites too. It gets us out here in the greenhouses and show you guys what we got going on. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Corbin. Welcome to the Mr. Maple Show, guys. We got Walkthrough Wednesday coming at you right now.
Oh yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're doing all kinds of crazy videos. We appreciate all you guys' support. But man, let's jump right into it, right? Because this thing is like, we were like, let's find a greenhouse that's really popping off, some cool stuff in here to talk about. And starting out right here, man, we've got a huge set of golden falls right here, man.
Yeah, dude. Now this is a classic. I got one of these at home, dude.
Yeah.
It does, like, those bleached out yellows are looking really nice right now. Putting on some of that new growth that's a little pink, a little orange. And I mean, for a tree like this, I mean, it really does have a wide variety of things that it does during all seasons.
Absolutely, man. What I really love about this too, these are some really nice low grafts. We got some great sizes on these right now. I mean, they're just looking really, really nice out here in the greenhouse. Man, the orange like tipping with the yellow in the spring is really, really nice on these. And then, like you said, like it's just continuously flushing new growth over top of that, kind of a light pinkish orange with the yellow. Crazy, man. And the fall colors on this are even better, right? I mean, you get some bright oranges and reds. It's crazy.
Dude, I know. This is one that surprised me. You know, it was one Matt kind of pushed me towards.
Yeah.
And I got it at my house. Dude, that's one that catches my eye all the time in the garden. And I'm just like, wow, like that's got new colors on it, bleaching out a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of, again, it's a little funky sometimes, man.
Absolutely. And these right here, like I said, these are a low graft. So there's so many different ways you can do these out in your landscape. You can just kind of let it continue that low spreading weeping habit, or you can stake that up and create a taller place for it to cascade down from. It's going to give you some electric colors out there in the garden.
Great container plant too, man.
Great container plant for sure, man. So let's keep moving on here.
Yeah, man. What do we got next?
What we got next, dude? What we got next? How about let's talk about these series right here, man?
Dude, I know those are. Some of them are getting as tall as I am, man.
Yeah, dude.
This is one of like the most vigorous trees I've seen, man. You know, sometimes you'll have just one that's literally just like curled up against the greenhouse, you know, but it's going to get out there in the landscape really quick.
For sure, man. This is one of those trees that if you want something that's going to get big and get big fairly quick, when it comes to Japanese maples, one of the fastest growers out there. You can get over a foot of growth a year, sometimes even up to 14 inches of growth every year on these plants. So they get big quick. They provide some nice shade. If you've got a lot of other dwarf Japanese maples around it, it can provide some afternoon shade for that. Perfect for the landscape. And what's really unique about Ceres that I think a lot of people need to know and understand more about it is it's actually an upright lace leaf variety, right? Because most of the lace leaves that you think about are that mounding, weeping, low cascading forms. This thing is upright, nice broad canopy. I saw a beautiful one of these at the Tom Cox Arboretum. Absolutely perfect fall color on it. A dark burgundy red on that fall color. Really, really nice in the landscape for sure.
And dude, that leaf is like so beautiful.
Yeah.
And the structure on these things is really nice as well. And I mean, if you're looking for a blue Japanese maple, it's a blue dragon. So
that's right.
Mean, that's about as close as you might be able to get.
That's right, dude. That's awesome, man. Let's keep moving, man. What do we got next?
Ah, dude, check out these filigree we got right here, man. And like, this is one of those ones that's hard to capture on camera.
It is.
That lace leaf is so fine and dainty, man. I mean, it looks like you could kind of crumple it up just by touching it, man. Yeah. That's how like dainty it is.
Dude, it looks really, really cool. The texture on this thing is absolutely crazy. But what's kind of interesting, we just talked about Syria, which is a beautiful, large, upright lace leaf. This is a super small, very dwarf lace leaf with a dark red color to it. This thing holds its color really well too. One of the things I love about this, you can plant it even in a shady location and it's still going to hold that red color really well. But yeah, you hit it on the head, man. This thing is so finely dissected that, I mean, you can't even hardly take a picture without something behind it just to capture, it's like this super lace feel to it.
I know, and I think like, what are the things you could contrast this with? Maybe like yellow threads, you know?
Yeah.
Some of those yellow linear lobums to kind of play off of the thinness of that leaf. or maybe even some japonicums, man. Give that nice background to kind of lay out and see that fineness on that leaf. I mean, awesome plant.
That's what's great about Japanese maples, man. You can play with those contrasts in colors, but also in leaf shape, man. There's so many varieties of different leaf shapes. So, I mean, you really have a lot there to play with in your garden and design. So let's keep on moving down the line here. What do we got coming up? Man, we've got like a ton of orange violas here. We've got some filigree, but we can't walk by this set of Fire Glow without talking about it, man.
Oh, dude, this is one of my, you know, I had to talk my aunt into getting this one. It's one of my favorite upright reds.
Yeah.
I mean, once that sun hits it, dude, I mean, the name is so it's so aptly named. I mean, it glows, it looks like it's on fire. And it's a pretty good sized tree, medium sized tree in the landscape if you're looking for something that kind of fills out some space, but you don't want it to be a gigantic tree.
Right, yeah, this is a kind of a nice alternative to like a bloodgood because a bloodgood is going to get to that 25-foot range. Beautiful burgundy red colors, man. This thing really does light up, like you said. The name fits it perfectly because you give this in just the right sun location and it just glows, man.
That's beautiful.
The leaves are like thin enough where the sunlight reaches through it and just makes that underside of that leaf just light up. It looks really nice out in landscape. This is like that classic look too that most people think of with Japanese maples. You definitely want a Fire Glow in your landscape, man.
Yeah, man, you know, we got people coming here to open house and like, I want a red Japanese maple. I'm bringing them to Fire Glow, you know, giving them something a little bit more exotic than say a bloodgood,
right?
But something that still fits all those like check marks, you know.
Absolutely, man.
Awesome tree.
Absolutely. All right, man, I'll let you lead the way. Let's walk on to the next thing here.
Yeah, there's so much stuff in here. There's so much to talk about. Another large set of Golden Falls, man.
A huge set of Golden Falls here again.
I'm looking over here. I'm seeing some purple ghosts, dude.
All right.
You know I got love for my purple ghost, man.
Dude, purple ghost is awesome, man.
Dude, and I saw the original one of these in Oregon at Talon Buckholt's place. Dude, amazing specimen. You're gonna want one of these in your garden because wow, awesome, huge specimen, older than me.
Yeah.
4 years older than I am, and man, it's a lot bigger than I am too. Holy cow,
dude, this is like, I mean, we just talked about a red upright, but this is like a red upright but take it to the next level because you get that awesome reticulation in that leaf. It really does have some nice defined veins inside that leaf with that beautiful red burgundy color on top of that. This right here, I mean, it's a classic, you know, like when it comes to the Ghost series, I think this is probably one of the most popular ones.
Yeah.
You know, I've recently been reading up on Talon's blogs, and he talks about a lot of his, you know, top selling maples, and Purple Ghost is always in that conversation because it just, everybody's looking for a red upright, but this gives you that, but something a little extra out in the landscape.
And you can tell why it is sold so well. I mean, people ask by name for this one.
Yeah.
You know, it's so distinct and unique, honestly. You gotta love that reticulation on the purple. And I love the color change that it has. Going to those like more purpley greens, and still kind of giving you that nice contrast. Even in itself, it'll give you a nice contrast between the new growth and some of that older flush. And I mean, amazing. Definitely,
man. This is a killer plant. One you should definitely add to your garden. Let's keep cruising along here, man.
Go ahead.
So, all right, let's talk about some Ryusin, man. So Ryusin, I love this plant. One of my favorite things about this is like, there's no two Ryusins that look the same. Like every one of them grows differently. It has this extremely weeping habit to it. We've got these staked up. So I really like, you know, sometimes you can do like a low graft and just let it weep across the ground, but these are staked up already. And you know, you can continue that staking to the highest point that you want and then let that just cascade around it, man. It looks so cool out in the garden. They always create these unique shapes. I love it, man.
This is like what I imagine as like the Play-Doh of maples, right? Man. You know, like you bend and shape this thing any way you want. I've seen ones that looks like a man sitting out in the garden, dude, and a little creepy, honestly. Right. But I mean, dude, once you get that thing in fall color, it's gonna look amazing, especially however you bend it. And you know, you get a lot of freedom with this tree, and I think that's why people keep coming back to it, honestly, man.
Absolutely, yeah. A great idea on these too is to find like a little hillside. I've seen that several times, man, and just let it weep and flow down that hill, man. It looks so cool. It's like a carpet you know, of Japanese maple leaves, and it just looks amazing. The fall colors on this too are underestimated. Beautiful oranges and reds on this thing. It'll light up out there in the garden. It's such a fun plant, like you said, because you can make it into anything you want. It's not like your standard upright Japanese maple. You can stake it and get it some height, let it weep down, create some amazing shapes out there.
Yeah, dude, I love those trees where it's like they feel so lifelike whenever it seems like they're crawling across the garden, man. I mean, amazing.
So, dude, this is one right here we haven't talked about very, very often. Let's talk about it for a minute, man. So this is English lace. This is a beautiful, like, burgundy lace leaf that a lot of people are familiar with out in the garden. But what makes this totally unique is this is like the closest thing you can get to Cereus, which is an upright green lace leaf. This is the closest you can get to that in a red form. It's kind of a semi-upright habit. It's not as strong of an upright habit as Cereus, but it does get some nice height to it. I mean, and this thing just really puts on a big, bold display out in the garden. I love lace leaves anyway, and to have one that has that kind of semi-upright habit, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, and you picked an awesome specimen to show that off. I mean, you can see how it's kind of, yeah, shooting straight up. And like, I love those dissected leaves, how they look on. I mean, it's rarely do you get to see an upright lace leaf, dude, and I mean, it sticks out a lot. And this one is just an awesome cultivar. Another one with very fine cut lace leaf.
Right.
And I mean, it's gonna look great in the garden.
Yeah, that burgundy color on that too is amazing. And you know, with this kind of natural upright habit that it has, you can also kind of prune on that to accentuate that and encourage that. And then you could really have this beautiful, like, upright specimen of a lace leaf, man. The concept of this cultivar, I think, is amazing. I think more people need to be using this in their garden.
Oh, definitely. Way underutilized for sure. Oh, man.
Oh, what have we got next, Corbin?
Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm seeing these. These ones always catch my eye, dude. I love a witch's broom, dude.
Yeah, dude.
And
look at these things, man. There's good sizes on these too, man.
Pretty funky witch's broom, dude. A columnar witch's broom, straight up. Super dense, compact habit. And I mean, if you're looking for something where you just got like a smaller space, not much area for width, dude, throw one of these in there. It's going to shoot straight up, it's going to get thick, and it's going to provide a lot of awesome red colors to kind of contrast any kind of greens or yellows that you have in the landscape, man.
Absolutely, man. This gives you a great, like, vertical interest out in the garden to draw your eye upwards, where a lot of times you're looking down at plants. This kind of gives you that attention for your eye to drive upwards on that. And the color on this thing is probably one of the best reds out there. I mean, this thing holds its color really well, even into the summer months. And then that new flush of growth over top of that, I mean, it really, really puts on a show. I love the small little leaves, kind of that rounded lobe in the middle, gives it a unique texture out there in the garden too. Yeah, this is kind of that flagpole, real narrow cultivar of Japanese maples, which is exciting because you can use it in so many different spots out there in the garden.
Dude, and the witch's broom, my favorite part about witch's broom, obviously the tight, compact habit, but whenever you get one with a shortened center node on the leaf, I mean, it just looks so different from anything in the garden. And I mean, whenever we had 10 gallons of this one, I was always checking those out and going and seeing what was up with them. So this is an amazing cultivar.
Yeah, these are impressive even in like a 1 gallon. When they start getting to a mature specimen, they really make a bold statement out there. All right, dude, I guess we'll just keep moving on here. We could spend all day in this greenhouse talking about things, but we got to keep it moving on here. When we came in here, we were like, look at these giant size Shishigashiras, man. We got to talk about this plant. This is awesome.
I mean, look at these. What's crazy is, like, starting working here, you know, shishis might have been like this big whenever I started, and those are the ones I noticed.
Right.
But doing all the traveling and seeing specimen sizes, dude, those mature, ancient Shishigashiras, man, you know, you see 80-year-old ones, sometimes older than that, dude. And I mean, they look crazy in the landscape. It looks like fireworks, I'd say. Like all these little cathedral type shoots that it shoots out, and then those really nice spacing and crumpled leaves. It really adds a lot of action into the garden, and that's why it has become one of my favorite lionhead maples. I mean, honestly.
Definitely, man. I mean, this thing's going to draw your eye out to that space wherever you've got it in your garden, because the texture on it is insane. Like that tiny little crumpled leaf where it's got the serrated edges, a little cupped upward. It just looks so unique. And the fall color on this thing is crazy, man. It gets like these bold, like orange, red color out there in the garden. Sometimes a little bit of yellows in there as well. I mean, this thing is absolutely electric in the fall. And you're right, dude, that the shape on the mature size of these has this beautiful like V shape to it, always reaching upward with these strong shoots, lots of leaves on that, little crumpled leaves on that. It just, I mean, it gives you something special in the garden for sure.
It is, man. I mean, it is a funky looking plant. I love all those lionheads maples. You know, I had to pick out a Karen IG for my mom.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is the OG, not the OG she, but the OG Ashishi Gashira, man. I mean, beautiful plant. That's
right, man. You can collect like the whole Lion series. Matt and Tim talk about that all the time. But that collection is not complete without the original Shishi Gashira, man.
Yeah, so what do we got next, Bryan?
What we got next, man?
Look at all these. These are looking nice, man.
Looking real nice.
So many awesome maples in here. Oh, dude. And another classic, dude.
Another classic right here, man. This is a huge set of some really giant size Sango cactus, man. These things are massive, right? I mean, we have a lot of these available right now on MrMaple.com. This is like, when you're thinking about like a bold green color out in the garden, this really does bring it. Like it's to me, it's like my favorite green upright. That's just kind of gives you that standard palmate leaf to it. But then you get that added interest of that red coral bark to it.
Dude, I love the coral bark. I love the springtime and the fall time. Like, this is one that is just like, it's a real good one all the way around.
Yeah.
But dude, you put this in there to kind of give it a splash of color during the wintertime.
Yeah.
Right next to a conifer, and have that play back and forth between those dark greens and a bright red. And I mean, you'll know why this is one that is very sought out in the trade, man. I mean, definitely amazing plant.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you think about Japanese maples, most of the time you're thinking about spring and fall interest. Well, this kind of gives you that next dimension. It gives you that winter interest, that beautiful coral pink and red colors you get on that bark in the wintertime. It really accentuates even brighter too in the winter. Like that bark will really brighten up. This time of the year, the bark is not quite as red as it usually is. But in the winter months, man, it really just lights up, man. I love that. And the fall color on that too, like what I like about it is just as it's transitioning into this beautiful golden yellow fall color, that bark lights up red against that. So you have this amazing contrast. This plant does it so well. It's like contrast on contrast on contrast.
I know, dude, and you gotta love that. I mean, sometimes the bark color is crazier than some of these other maples' fall colors.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Like insanity.
It really does just take it to the whole nother level, man.
Oh, talking about color, dude. Look at this, man.
Oh, man, what do you got here?
Dude, we got some Kotabukis, dude.
Oh, man.
This is...
Yeah, go ahead, man.
This is one of those ones where it's like, you see that fresh spring color, dude, and it's like, is that a real plant, dude? Yeah. Like, it looks like somebody just went to Mars and pulled this thing out the ground, dude.
I love variegated plants. I mean, they just give you something exciting all the time, man. It's like, it really draws your eye into it. Something I love taking photographs of. You know, get your camera out, go out and take a picture of it, because the colors are crazy, man. A lot of people aren't even going to believe that what you got there is like a variegated Japanese maple. You know, they're going, what is this? It almost looks like a flowering shrub because, you know, those colors on it looks like a bloom color on like a flower or something, man. I love that about it.
And I love that kind of variegation that it has. You know, it's a little irregular, splotches here and there, and then it has the more edging kind of, and it's just like every leaf just looks so different. This is one that you want to prune for variegation, isn't that right? And cut out all those little green branches so that you can have those beautiful variegated branches. And I mean, awesome plant, dude.
Awesome plant. Yeah, this is one that, like Corbin was saying, you prune on it a little bit each spring. You can encourage more and more of that variegation that you love about it. It'll really get these crazy hot pinks and whites mixed in with the green on that. It's absolutely beautiful. And one cool thing about Kotabuki too is it doesn't get too big. You're getting about 6 foot in 10 years. Yeah. So it's kind of a smaller size variegated type to plant out in the garden, because we all know gardens are getting smaller And as a collector, you run out of room eventually because you've planted way too many trees in one spot.
I know, dude. And one thing I never noticed until I just picked this one up, dude, is like the bark color is pretty amazing. You know, a lot of those variegated trees, their bark color is going to be similar to the color that the leaves that it's popping out. And I mean,
yeah, you're
that
absolutely
bark
right.
is hot pink.
It's hot pink, man. You can get some like candy striping too in the older bark, where you'll see the actual variegation not only in just the leaf, but in the actual bark too. That's pretty awesome.
It is, man. Oh, dude. Now,
I mean, talk about like,
we got to talk about this one, man. I mean,
let's do it, man. We got to talk about some McCawa Yatsubusas. I mean, this is a crowd favorite always. I mean, like, there's really nothing else out there that can compete with McCawa, just in its unique shape and structure. I love the way it just kind of layers those leaves, really tight, compact form to it. But also, man, just in its like overall shape, in, you know, as it matures, man, it's just got these long reaching branches out there. And then like in the fall, after the leaf, you can really see that cool structure. Like there's nothing else like it.
I love how tight those little rings around the bark are, man, where the buds pop out. I mean, it looks like bamboo to me sometimes out in the landscape. And some of the 10 gallons and larger sizes ones that we've got, man, they have some of the craziest curves. They're going back and forth across the landscape. And I mean, this is another one of those trees that it really feels alive whenever it's out there. It looks like it could just pick its roots up out the ground and walk around the garden.
Right.
And I think that that's so cool. And I just love how tight that layering of the leaves is, man. I mean, that's one of my favorite things about it.
Absolutely. Great for like bonsai. It's great for container gardening. I actually just put one of these in a container at my house, so I'm really excited about that. I love just everything about this plant. The fall color, man, is really nice too. You can get some oranges early, and then it goes to this like really crazy scarlet red by the finish of fall. Really, you know, makes a bold statement out in the garden. Going to give you textures that really no other maple gives you. So if you plant that out there, people are going to notice it right away. You're like, man, what is that over there? And that's a McCawa Yatsubusa. This is a classic. Everybody loves it for good reason.
Yeah, dude, you see these all around the world, and I mean, yeah, a good reason that they are, man. One of the most beautiful maples that we got. Absolutely.
Well, hey guys, we appreciate you guys watching today. We wanted to jump out here into a cool greenhouse, show you what we got going on. We get a lot of requests for the walkthrough videos, especially in the greenhouses, because I think people are kind of shopping while they're watching. You know what I mean? It's like, it's more than just like talking about maples. It's like a way for you guys to see what we have up and coming and what will be coming available. And a lot of these are actually available right now on MrMaple.com. So go check that out. Go to the website, browse around in there. If you're looking for specific colors, we've worked really hard on the website to kind of create some filters for sizes, shapes, and colors. So get in there, dig in, and find that maple that you need for your garden.
Yeah, dude, Nigel's been tearing it up with the website, man. You know, making it really easy to go and shop, look for exactly what you want. But yeah, if you wanted a chance to walk around these greenhouses, make sure to come by Labor Day. We're going to be having an awesome open house.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there's some gems in here that we weren't able to talk about just because, you know, Matt and Tim want to keep that on the low. So come by Labor Day. We're going to be walking around the greenhouses. You know, Bryan and I might show you some of our stashes. Maybe not, but who knows? You can find that perfect maple for you. And I mean, just to get a chance to see just the vast variety of trees that we have in here. And hopefully we get to see you, eat some good food, hang out with some awesome people.
We're going to have an amazing open house. That's September 4th. That's Labor Day, 8 to 4. Come on out, man. We're going to have a food truck, a band. Carolina Drifters are going to be playing, dude. They've got some awesome tunes. You got to come check that out. And then, you know, the star of the day are all these amazing greenhouses filled with Japanese maples. We got a ton of other plants too, man. Azaleas, conifers. I mean, we have a lot of stuff out here. 15 total greenhouses that you get to shop. So that's a big deal. Come on out to the Mr. Maple Open House Festival. It's a lot of fun. We appreciate you guys watching today. Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.